cat called Meow. So today we're gonna sit down to chat, talk, I say, which no one is watching, but I mean I just like to talk like this just in case someone is watching. And yes, this unicorn is just here for aesthetic. I actually tried today. I tried. Still looks the same though. Anyway, so yesterday I sent some questions to my friends and family, but my family haven't responded yet, so I'm just using my friends one. And I sent some questions. I sent 6 or 7 questions, and they didn't have to answer all, but I did want opinions on all of the questions. And today we will be discussing. None of them actually know what it's for though. I made it when I sent it to my family. I made the message look so confidential. Actually, it's just what it is. I just want to. I always wondered what people's opinions are. Like, I have my opinion, but I also want to know what other people's opinions are. Whether or not I agree or disagree is for me to think later, but I just want to know what people think, besides me. So I asked one of the questions I asked. Oh, I feel like a professor. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I actually have a lot that I keep to myself. I know this sounds weird, but I think about the world a lot. A lot. And there's a lot of thoughts and stuff like that. I observe the world, and there's a lot that I keep to myself, and there's a lot of stuff like this also that I keep to myself, but I never say it in real life. I never talk about it with anyone in real life, just because I know my opinion won't matter, and that's not anyone's fault. That's not my fault, but it's just I'm never considered as like a smart or like intelligent person who like deserves to be heard or something like that, and that's okay, because there will be one day when God actually puts me in a position where I can say what I want, and then people will be listening, and then y'all be quaking. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so anyway, like I said, I'm really curious to know other people's opinions. So this question is, in your opinion, why do some people consider rock or metal music devil's music, and what are the positive or negative effects of aggressive music? Any type of aggressive music. And I got a few opinions, and then later on I'm going to tell you mine. Okay, so this first person is someone who does not listen to metal music or rock music. And in my opinion, I mean, I can't be sure because I'm not this person, but in my opinion, this is someone who is she closes her mind to metal music. Like, her whole mind, she just closes her mind to it. To her, she does not want to listen to it, doesn't want to give it a chance, which is not right, not wrong, not for me to say, but yeah, that's just her. So she says, okay, well, in my opinion, I think this way because of how loud it is and the lyrics. Has she ever listened to the lyrics though? Okay, anyway. It just does not apply to me. You know lah kan, Christian music is soft, not so loud and screaming all that. Those who know the genre of course won't say that, but yeah. And remember, Lucifer was angel of music, and she put there upside down question mark. Is I also want to know, is Lucifer the angel? I forgot to check, I was supposed to check, sorry. As Satan, he can use music to manipulate ma. I silent her WhatsApp message, okay. So so she said something that I already heard, and I already like, it kind of confirmed what I think people think why it's devil music, and that is of how loud it is. So that's what people usually say, that it's loud. And she said the lyrics depends, but I don't think she herself, I don't think she has ever paid attention to a metal song enough to know the lyrics and listen to it and understand it. But yeah, there are some satanic music out there. I mean, I'll get to that later. I'll get to my opinion later, sorry. And she says, now this part she says, you know lah kan, Christian music is soft, not so loud and screaming all that. And yeah, so anyway, that's it. Okay, next person says, now this one is a bit more open-minded, like the opinion. And she says, because some people thought the songs like metals are always bad, so they anggap it as devil music, and also depends on the lyrics in the song. So she put the positive effects is find peace in it, and those who like metal music, they find quite nice lah. That's nice for her to say and acknowledge. And the negative effect she put there is obsessive. Now in my opinion, the way I see it, I mean, there of course there are metal fans out there who are obsessive. There is people, obsessive people out there, but in my opinion, I don't really see metal fans as that obsessive. To me, it's like, honestly, I feel like fans of K-pop are a lot more obsessive than us. I'm not even obsessed. There are people who are obsessed, but like metal fans are not really. We're not really known to be obsessive lah. But that's what she thinks, which is fine. Okay, the last person, I like this opinion, and she's the only one here who actually does like metal and rock music like me. And so this is like an opinion from a fellow metalhead, you know. So she says, I guess they do because of his devilish sound, because of the e-guitar solos and noisy background. Besides that, it's the way the bandmates dress and the makeup they wear that could make them look like devil worshippers. But all of this is just judging a book by its cover, because most metal rock bands are actually Christians. Well, the benefits are that it makes you feel super hyped up and you just feel great. It is true. The negative thing is that it could bother your neighbors or whatever. So, wait, that last statement of bother your neighbors but whatever, yes girl, yes, I stand. Okay. So, now, to my opinion, to me, my opinion that I always keep to myself is devil's music is any music that is made for the devil. It is not determined, it is not sorry, my English is so, it is not determined, or I can't think of the word, described by the genre. I'll think of the word later. It is not confined to the genre, it is not confined to the sound, or how loud, or how soft, what instrument you use. If it's made for the devil, it's for the devil, okay? So that also means that anyone who tells me that rock or metal, or usually people say metal, or people usually just say rock and then they think metal and rock is the same thing, right? But anyway, anyone who tells me rock music is satanic should also tell me why they don't say other music are also devil's music. No, I don't hear anyone calling pop music devil's music. I don't hear anyone calling rap or hip hop devil's music. I'm not saying that it should be labeled like that. I just wonder why it's just rock music when obviously there are also satanic songs in other genres. And like I said, to me, if you make it for the devil, it can sound like anything. Even for example, in its own genre, in rock, there is a band called Ghost. And they make, even I used to like their music, I still kind of listen to it. They make the most innocent sounding music ever. You know, if you know the band Ghost or Ghost BC, they make the most innocent songs ever, and it sounds good, and it's really talent, and it's really unique music in rock. But they are satanic, and that's what makes it scary. Like, Satan can use the most innocent sounding music to get to you, if you get what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is there are satanic artists in other genres. In fact, all around us, I feel like the most famous celebrities are already like, the music that we hear on the radio is already satanic to me. And you might be thinking, no, it's like they're not worshipping Satan. Well, to me, what I hear, I don't know, what do you guys hear? Maybe you guys hear something nice, like it's about love, it's about breakup. But for me, most, not all pop music, but most pop music to me is mostly I hear about lust. And lust is something from the devil. And they might not be directly, you know, like, guys, we worship Satan. You know, and they're not going to do that, obviously. But if you listen to the songs, and if you watch the videos, and if you know what to look for, like the Freemason symbols and the MK Ultra symbols, stuff like that, you will know what I mean. They are all around us. They are all around us, and their job is to influence us and brainwash us. And it's actually scary to me that the most innocent sounding music around us is actually the one that is influencing young people like me the most. But I already woke up, but there are many people who haven't woken up, you know. devil is all around us, and it is not defined by the genre, because she says here, Christian music is soft, not so loud and screaming, all that. But like in my church, praise and worship is quite loud, and it's really like, oh yeah, if you say Christian music is soft, you should go to like a youth event, like any youth worship event. We jump and we sing and we shout, okay, and it's loud. Does that make it any less Christian? It doesn't, because it doesn't matter what it sounds like, what instruments are used, and how you sing it. It's why you sing it and why you make it. And if it's from your heart, God will know it's from the heart. Okay? And wait. Wait up. Okay, whatever. So like I said, if you trying to tell me that rock is the devil's music, then you should maybe or tell me why pop music is Christian, you know. Give me an example, you know, because I think people are just blinded by the sound, you know. As long as it's noisy, it's for the devil. As long as it's soft, like Ariana Grande's high notes, you ain't fooling me, girl. I know you're a Satanist, but people just think it's based on the volume, or you know, as long as it's growling, it's. But for some reason, you know how growling takes talent and skill, or maybe people have to learn it and perfect it for how many years before they can even, like, I don't know, just screaming or growling. I feel like people are more sensitive to the growling, it's more demonic. And that kind of talent and skill is the same kind of talent and skill used to in, like, maybe for Ariana Grande's high notes. But for some reason, y'all are looking at high notes like, oh, talent, that's my queen, and then y'all be looking like this at these growling and screaming noises like, ew, that's satanic, and that's just noise. When that is also talent. Okay, disclaimer, I know that there are satanic metal bands out there, and there is such thing as satanic metal. I mean, it's not this on genre, but you get what I mean. There are satanic metal bands, there are satanic metal songs. But that doesn't mean the whole genre is satanic, because at the end of the day, not everyone who makes that kind of music is satanic. I mean, they don't do it for Satan. And like I said, I'm sure there are satanic artists in other genres. Like I said, they might be all around us. I'm already positive. I do believe in people who sell their soul to the devil, and that most of the celebrities around us are actually here to prepare the way for the Antichrist. I strongly believe that, and I'm surprised that no one sees that, and people are just so blinded by them. But then again, that's their job, to brainwash us. And if, like, okay, if you say that metal music is so satanic, right, it is devil's music, you know, no matter what. Like, even if there's a Christian metal band, no, they can't be Christian because they choose to make that kind of music. Well, even if, like, I'm a Christian, let's say I'm a Christian, which I am. let's say, like, okay, I'm a Christian and I want to start a Christian metal, a black metal band, okay? Are you going to say that my music is satanic, maka the lyrics is Christian, I use Christian, like, symbols and everything Christian. I don't use a single, like, Illuminati symbol or stuff like that. It's all Christian, and I genuinely do it for God. Are you going to tell me that I'm making devil's music when I'm making Christian music, but it's black metal? Well, yes, meow, because you're making the same type of music that Behemoth does, or Gorgoroth does, or Mayhem does, you know, or stuff like that. Yeah, but that's them, and I'm me. And, like, this is something I keep to myself so much. There is no evil or good type of music. It's just the genre, and there are people who choose to use it for good, and there are people who choose to use it for bad. And not everyone is going to use it for bad, time, not everyone is going to use it for good. And when I said that there are satanic artists everywhere, which I do believe, even in, I'm sure there are satanic country artists, you know, because Satan has his army everywhere. Satan is the king of this world, right? Even the Bible says it. He basically has his army everywhere to deceive us from like all corners, I guess. And there are the satanic metal bands to deceive us metalheads, to pull us in. And then there are the satanic pop artists, which are a bit scarier to me because people don't actually realize that they are satanic and they can actually influence us, especially the young people like me. But at the same time, God has his army everywhere, okay? Which is why we have, I'm sure we have Christian pop artists, legit Christian pop artists. I'm not talking about Selena Gomez or Justin Bieber or people who claim to be Christians. Should that be in another video or should I talk about it now? That should be in another video, okay? But basically I do not believe that they are Christians, but I'm talking about the genuine Christian pop artists or hip-hop artists. I'm sure they are out there, you know, the same way that there are Christian metal bands. But the reason why they are underrated is because that's just how the world is. They will never lift up, they will never glorify, they will never make someone who is actually an army of God famous, an army of Christ. They will never actually make them famous because they're going against the system. They're going against the system that is to prepare the way for the Antichrist and the New World Order and the microchip and all of that. They are going against that, and they're choosing to be servants of Jesus, which is why they cannot get far. And sometimes when I listen to these, like my favorite Christian black metal bands like Ancestor, Schlechtwald, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that, and you know that stuff, I find that the music is so good, but then why are they so underrated? Duh, because they're Christian, and that's just how it is. And I'm not trying to say that we should trust every Christian artist out there. At the end of the day, they could be a deception. We don't know their heart. And I'm not trying to say that I 100% trust any Christian rock or metal band. I don't even 100% trust Skillet, okay? Skillet is one of my favorite. But I'm just saying that, just think about it. Like, there are underrated, there are Christian artists out there. We just have to find them because the world will never make it too easy for us to find them, okay? They will never put it in front of our face. Why do you think we have, like, I don't know, Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande? I keep bringing her up because that's how much I hate her. Sorry. And I'm not talking about her music, I'm talking about the satanic part. And why do you think they put up all these famous celebrities in front of us, but they leave all those Christian celebrities to be underrated? It's just how it is. That's just how it is in this world. You cannot get far, you cannot get to that level if you don't sell your soul or you don't confess. I mean, you don't give up your life to Satan. Is that the way to say it? Yeah. So it just bothers me when people keep it to a genre like metal music is devil's music, you know, and you don't think about Christian. There are Christian metal bands, you know. You just have to find them. But then at the same time, I also understand why people would think that, because I'll go back to the root. Okay, I'm going back to the root. I kind of forgot some of this already, but what's the first metal band, or what's credited to be the first metal band, is Black Sabbath. Okay, Black Sabbath is basically like the legend. Okay, I personally don't look up to them. I don't look up to any famous people. I don't call any of them legends, or at least I'm trying not to. Okay, so Black Sabbath, what was their first song? Black Sabbath. And I'm not mistaken, I forgot the whole story, but there was some kind of a devil's tritone and stuff like that. But basically that song Black Sabbath is quite dark. It's about him seeing the devil in his robe, and basically, obviously Black Sabbath is a satanic band. Yeah. And if you're saying, go back to the root, obviously, if the first metal band was a satanic band and everything that comes after that is satanic, well, why don't you go back to the root of your pop music or rap music as well? Because I honestly forgot to go back. I forgot to go Google all this stuff. But what if the first pop artist was a satanic high priest? You never know. Okay? So going back to the root is important. But at the same time, as time goes by, which is why I said we can't really trust anyone either, because at the end of the day, it all started from satanic, satanic, and then later on there are Christian metal bands, but like I said, I don't want to 100% trust anyone, just not necessarily because they are part of metal music, but just because I don't know. And yeah, go back to the root. That's actually a really good point if you ever thought of that. But it does make sense. We can't Christianize Islam. We can't Islamize Buddha. You know, we can't Christianize something if you want to put it in that way. But at the same time, like I said, God, if you do it for God, God knows and God sees it, and God will show that you are doing it for Him. And even in the Bible it says it, what praising with the sound of the timbrel and the harp. You guys know that verse. I forgot the verse. But basically what I get from that verse is we can praise God with anything, basically use anything. And even your voice, which is why I said like growling, screaming, that's nothing wrong to use that in Christian music, in Christian like black metal. There's nothing wrong with that. Why? Because they're using it for God. It may not be melodious, but it's for God, and that's the point. And even God says people look at the outward, but God looks at the heart. And it is not what goes inside you that defiles you, it's what comes out of you that defiles you. Okay, so I may be let's say I'm in a black metal band. I may be influenced by like I may have wanted to be in a black metal band because I was inspired by other black metal bands that maybe I grew up with and maybe are not Christian. But if I choose to make my music Christian, who's to judge? Okay, who's to say anything? Because this is what I choose to do for God, and it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, God looks at your heart. And yeah, and if you think about it, if Satan has his army everywhere, like I said, then it's for different people of different genres, different fans of different genres. It's to deceive them. Like we got the pop music fans who are going to be deceived by the satanic pop artists. We got the country music fans who are going to be deceived by the satanic country music artists, you know, if there are any, which I'm sure there are. And then we got the metal bands, which are metal fans, which are obviously going to be deceived by the metal, satanic metal bands. But also God has his army everywhere. Not everyone wants to listen to Hillsong worship or, you know, stuff like that, maybe soft music. Even I don't even listen to that kind of music when I want to listen to Christian music. I listen to unblack metal. So it's the same thing. God is using these black metal or death metal. I'm sure there are Christian death metal bands out there, or heavy metal, or any type of Christian metal band. God is using them to get through to those people who like metal music. Because God can use you no matter what you do. And God can use these people to get through the headbangers, to get Jesus through the headbangers. And who's to judge? Like I said, who's to judge, you know? So basically, my final thought is what I said just now. There's no type of music that can be that can be defined as holy or evil. It's just the genre of music, and there are people who use it for good, there are people who use it for bad. It comes from the heart. If you choose to make it for the devil, no matter what it sounds like, it is already devil's music. That's it from me. I'm sure no one listened, but it was just good to get that out, even if no one's listening. That's it from me today. God bless you. One last thing.